In today's video, I'm going to be upgrading my 3/8 wire cable on my winch to a 3/8 synthetic line. This is a rough country synthetic winch rope. It's a 3/8. It's 3/8 thick and it's supposed to have a 16,000 pound breaking strength. I actually attempted to do this about a week ago, but I ran into a problem. This screw used to hold the end of the cable onto the winch drum, and it's too short for this one. And I also read somewhere that it's not good to have it there because this could it's not good to have this on the side because this could actually damage the winch rope whenever it goes around, possibly. I heard that on another YouTube video. I don't know if they made it up, but I believed it. So okay, to solve that problem, I decided to get this thing. It's called the bubba rope winch grabber. It's just a little nylon strap that glues to the winch drum, and you put a few wraps on there, and it's supposed to be good. I mean, apparently they sell a lot of these, so I'm pretty sure they work. I hope. But I'm going to go ahead and install this and give it a little test run and see what I think. Before I get started, I want to get rid of this metal piece, just in case it can cut the rope. I'm not sure. So if you're squeamish, you might want to turn around. I thought that would cut it. That doesn't even cut it. Do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, now I got that piece cut off. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of push it together a little bit. And then take a lighter and kind of melt the ends. And I'm going to use a rag to kind of push it together so that way I don't burn myself. You know, be careful that. Okay, now it's time to go back in time where I left off a week ago. To remove the cable, all you do is put it in a free spool and just pull the winch cable out. And whenever you get to the end, it most likely has a screw, and just get a screwdriver or whatever it takes and take that little bolt loose, and then the cable should come off. Okay, so now that I have the winch cable off, I went ahead and went over it with some sandpaper a little bit, just to kind of smooth it out and clean me off a spot to stick the winch grabber on. I cleaned it with acetone. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to use, but that's my favorite solvent. So now it's time to go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's the winch grabber. You got to peel the little sticker part off of the two-way tape and just stick it on your winch drum. It says to install it on the left side, so that's where I installed it at. And now it's time to try to string the rope through it. I immediately ran into a problem trying to stick the end of the rope through the winch grabber, or the rope grabber, whatever. So I went ahead and wrapped it with masking tape to kind of squish it down to make it a little bit more narrow. That way I could push it through a little bit easier. So now it's time to just push it through and then estimate the length that it would take to go around 5 times. You need 5 wraps in order for this to work, according to the instructions. Okay, so that looks about right. So now I'm going to start wrapping it. I'm not gonna lie, I had to adjust this and readjust it a few times to get it right, but it's really not that hard. Anyway, let's go ahead and skip forward. Okay, so this was a little bit more difficult than I anticipated. I used a screwdriver to kind of open up the end to try to slide it through, and if you notice, I already slid the whole thing over, so apparently that two-way tape really doesn't do much. But in the end, it seems like it really doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and check it out here in a second. Okay, at this point I already have my 5 wraps on pretty good and stuck through the end, and I go ahead and just pull it by hand. I pull on it pretty hard and it doesn't go anywhere. So I'm actually pretty satisfied with this. I think that's a simple way to attach the rope. And now it's time to go ahead and reel it in. And when spooling your winch line, it's best to do it with at least a few hundred pounds of tension on it. You need to kind of pre-stretch it and install it with a lot of tension. If you don't, it'll cause problems. It just won't be tight enough, and it could easily bird nest. I'm just doing mine by hand, but before I actually do any recoveries with it, I'm going to make sure that I spool it on a lot tighter. Because if you have it wrapped loose like I do, and you do your first recovery, you're going to bird nest it. And what I mean by that is, like, the wraps are going to like kind of go underneath the looser wraps, and it's just going to tangle it up. I'm not really sure if synthetic lines do it that bad, but I promise you, if you do that with a steel line, you'll end up with something that you'll have to cut it off the spool. Probably. Anyway, let's go ahead and put it on there and see how it fits. real quick, let me go over a summary of what I just did. Okay, so this is a smittybilt 9,500 pound winch, and I just installed an 85 foot 3/8 synthetic line from Rough Country. And like I did a little bit of research, and what they say about it is that you want to have the winch rope to be at least 1.5 to 2 times the strength of, like, you know, how strong your winch is or whatever. So this one checks out. The 16,000 pound breaking strength actually exceeds what most 3/8 cable has, according to what I've been reading. Most 3/8 cable, galvanized aircraft cable, whatever, is supposed to have like a 14,000 pound breaking strength. So do your own research. Be careful. I don't know. The reason I did this synthetic rope is because it's supposed to be safer. They say that whenever it snaps, all it does is drop to the ground. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I will tell you one thing. I'd rather be slapped with a synthetic line than a steel line. And also, what I'm doing is I'm trying to eliminate all steel components in my recovery setup. You know, I want to use soft shackles. You know, I'm going to take this hook off the end and just try to be safe. That's the main reason I'm using this synthetic cable or synthetic line, whatever. One more thing to be aware of. Let's say that you hook the synthetic line up to a shackle, a steel shackle, to a recovery point, and that recovery point is weak and it breaks. Then all of a sudden it might sling a 3 or 4 pound steel shackle towards you, and you know that's the kind of stuff that I'm into right now. I just want to get rid of all that dangerous stuff, so just be really careful, because winching can be dangerous. I've seen it on YouTube. It can be dangerous. Okay, so here's a fun outcome. I kind of predicted this. It didn't really fit that well where my control box is mounted. It's getting really close to the synthetic rope. It doesn't really fit that good, and I'm just gonna have to stop right here because I don't want it to scratch nothing up. And if I was to wrap it tighter under tension, it probably would have fit better. But either way, there you go. That's how it's gonna work, and I'm just gonna have to leave it like that for now until I could wrap it tighter. So if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please like and subscribe. I might hook it there. I don't know where I'm going to hook it at. I'll just stick it right here on the end of the bumper. Anyway, the end.